vote yes.
Thank you, Deputy. Yours, please. Next witness.
Judge, we will call Deputy Cody Karina next.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Deputy, if you would state your name and then spell your last name for us, please.
Tony Farina. Last name is spelled C-A-R-E-N.
Thank you, Judge. Deputy, how are you employed?
I'm employed by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
And what is your position?
I'm a deputy sheriff.
How long have you been in that role?
I've been employed by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for approximately 5 years.
Did you have law enforcement experience prior to that?
I did. I worked for the Erie Township Police Department for approximately 4.5 years, and then the Chippewa County Sheriff's Office for a couple months.
Is that the extent of your law enforcement experience?
Yes.
All told, how long have you been in law enforcement?
Almost 10 years.
Do you hold all the training, education, certification necessary to be a police officer in the state of Michigan?
I do.
Were those up to date on April 20th, 2024? Were you on duty on April 20th of 2024?
I was.
What was your assignment on that day?
I was assigned to the road patrol that day.
And at some point on that day, were you dispatched to Swan Boat Club?
I was.
Do you recall what that dispatch was?
The dispatch was for a vehicle that had crashed into the side of the Swan Boat Club. While I was en route there, we were notified that at least one child was deceased.
And what did you observe when you arrived at the Swan Boat Club?
It was very chaotic. Multiple law enforcement agencies were there, multiple fire departments, life flight was trying to land. Law enforcement was trying to corral, witnesses and victims together. It was just very chaotic.
Did you inside the boat club?
Eventually I did.
How did you enter the boat club?
I entered through the hole that was on the side of the boat club.
That is the hole that the vehicle created?
That's correct.
And what did you observe when you went inside the boat club?
Tables and chairs were kind of thrown about. The bar area looked like it was damaged, and there was also a vehicle against one of the walls.
How did you come to interact with the defendant?
I was tasked with going to interview her.
What did you do at this point?
I went to a patrol car that the defendant was in and proceeded with an interview.
And so you spoke to the defendant?
I did.
Did you observe any signs of intoxication?
Well, I observed the odor of intoxicants coming from the back of the vehicle, the back of the patrol car, and I also observed that the defendant had bloodshot eyes.
And so what did you do next?
I interviewed the defendant.
Are you issued a body-worn camera?
I am.
And was it functional and operational on that day?
It was.
Did you have an opportunity to review that footage, Deputy?
I did.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw on that day?
It is.
And the video that we are going to proffer for the jury, it has been edited.
It has.
We've actually removed anything that's inadmissible in court today.
That's correct.
To your knowledge, was that edited about 70 seconds or so?
Yes.
And you didn't turn your camera off during that time, correct?
My camera was not on during that time.
So your camera was active, it was simply deleted for today's footage.
That's correct.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to move to admit and proffer to the jury exhibit 7.
Just go ahead, Sean.
These are the handcuffs. I don't do this, okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise his rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand what I just read to you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wish to speak to me?
Pardon?
Do you wish to speak to me? Or do you want to have a...
No, I'm good.
Like, do you want to talk or not?
I'm just hoping no one was hurt.
Oh, sure. So can I talk to you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Run through the medications that you told me about again.
Gabapentin, I have a whole list of medications. I don't have them on me right now.
Do you list of medications in your car?
No.
Okay. Okay, so what happened today? Where were we at today?
I went to lunch with some friends.
Okay, about what time was that?
Noonish.
Okay, so around when you went to lunch, do you remember what you ate?
Yeah, I had some chili and a fish sandwich
Fish sandwich? Okay. Where was that at?
at Vern's.
At Verna's? What did you drink? Did you drink water, pop?
I had a glass of wine.
Just one glass of wine?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you had one glass of wine at Verna's. After that, what happens? You leave at noon, where do you go?
Came home.
Okay. What did,
I just live right down the street.
okay. What's your address?
6260.
60 on Brightop?
Yep.
Okay. So you get home, what do you do when you get home?
I just came home and just kind of chilled out and was waiting for my husband to get up and take a nap.
Okay. Did you drink anything else there? Did you drink
No, I didn't even get a drink down here because I never made it this far.
when did you take your, medication?
8 o'clock.
8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that chili and the fish, is there any, did you eat anything else today?
No.
Okay. Okay, and then where were you driving to?
Just from Furnace to here.
To here? What were you coming here for?
Home.
Oh, so you're going from Verna's to home?
Yeah.
And you left Verna's at noon?
Yes.
Okay. But then you said you went home first?
I'm home here.
Oh, okay, so you were trying to go from Verna's to home?
Yes.
How long were you at Verna's then?
Maybe an hour, not even that long.
Okay, so you made no stops between Verna's and here?
No.
And when did you go to Verna's again?
About noon.
About noon. Okay. Okay. Do you remember what happened when you were going around here?
No, not really. I pulled into the parking lot and I thought I was driving up to the boat club and evidently I was driving right to the building.
Which direction did you go?
I live right down the street.
Okay, so you were coming from that way?
Yes.
This way? When you got to the parking lot, what happened?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you think there's a reason you don't remember? Did something happen or?
You know what? I have these seizures and
Okay. Do you have anything where it says like maybe that, you know, does your doctor for you to drive and everything?
I'm clear to drive now and I don't have my purse with me, but I do have a card in my purse.
Okay. When's the last time you had a seizure that you know of?
March.
In March?
Yeah.
Okay. So in March is the last time you remember that you had a seizure.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. Were you hospitalized for it?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Okay, did you have like at home or something?
No, I was in Monroe for 4 days and Toledo for 6 days.
I'm sorry, did you have your seizure while you were at home? Or did you have
I had it at home, and then I did have one when I was in the hospital.
when you were in the hospital? Okay. And March is gonna be the last time you had that seizure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you think, is your normal behavior when you have a seizure, is it, have lapses of memory? Do you,
Yes.
like that? Okay. So once you got to the parking lot, you don't remember anything?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all the questions I have for you now. Deputy Schmidt's gonna take you over from here, okay? Is there, so on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being like you're stone cold sober, you can drive perfectly, 10 being you're passed out drunk, where do you think you're at right now?
7.
A 7? Okay. Do you think you're okay to drive?
I wouldn't want to drive.
You would let you drive?
No.
Okay. Okay, just give me 1 second, okay? Sorry, my phone's ringing. I think it's gonna be my boss.
All right.
I apologize.
Again, move to admit these proposed exhibit 7.
Response.
I'm sorry.
No objection, Your Honor. All right, I didn't hear. Table 7 is admitted.
Deputy, do you acknowledge your time stamp and date stamp on that, correct?
It is correct.
I have no further questions, Judge, thank you.
Cross.
Officer, did you have a chance to follow up on my client and her medical records? Were you aware that she had a doctor's appointment in March of 24?
I was not.
Were you aware that her last episode of having a seizure was October 23?
Objection, Your Honor, to facts not in evidence.
Were you aware? That's all I asked. We need a refund.
Judge, if he wants to testify, he can call, he can be a witness and not an attorney, he can't be both.
I'm asking him the question if he is aware of
You
it.
can ask the question.
Sir,
Objection is over.
thank you, Judge. Yes, were you aware that my client, last episode was October 23, after having a seizure?
I was not.
When you were investigating with the police, Sean, were you aware that my client had gone through the Swan Hotel building? That she went through the Swan Hotel building? You're investigating.
I was.
Okay. So were you aware of that? Yes. Okay. And were you aware that her vehicle went 25 feet into the building, approximately?
I was.
And do you consider, with all of your experience over the years, that that's a major accident?
I would consider that a major accident, or I'm sorry, a major crash.
Thank you. When you asked my client on the tape there that was recorded, well, let me strike that back up. How long after the crash do you believe you interviewed my client on that video?
I can't give an exact time, but that would be an estimate.
Do you mind an estimate?
Say about 30 minutes, probably 20 to 30 minutes.
About 20 to 30 minutes after that crash, correct?
Correct.
There was a commercial time, Judge, the sound changed. Okay. Do you agree that after a major crash or collision, from your experience of somebody's involved into the building, only 25 feet in, that they might not have all their faculties together as you and I sit here calmly talking, just in your experience?
It can happen.
And would you agree that when you ask them, are you okay to drive? If you ask her, well, are you okay to drive because of the collision? Are you okay to drive because your vehicle's 25 feet in the building? Did you ask her any of that?
I just asked her if she was
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to and we heard it. I just want to confirm it if there was any other conversation. Is that, so you agree what we heard is true? Is the only conversation you had with her about his driving? Are you okay to drive?
I believe it was a follow-up question to the scale that I gave her when I was here today.
All right. And when you said on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think you should have waited a little bit longer than 20 minutes or 30 after this major crash occurred to wait till somebody that you would have settled down your thought process maybe better, and then ask her questions? Do you think that might be hindsight from your collision crashes and investigated? Would have been better to sort of wait a little bit longer than right afterwards.
At the time when I was speaking to the defendant, in the tow car, she seemed like she had collected herself after the crash.
And she seemed like she was sober, right?
No.
She seemed like she collected her thoughts. I didn't hear her in the story. Did you hear her in the story?
There was no slurring speech, but.
Okay, that's my question. I just want, there were no story, am I correct? We all heard. Okay. And you said that she had collected her thoughts after she just went through this building. You felt she had collected her thoughts, right? I don't even hear the question.
Redirect.
Deputy, when you were speaking with the defendant, did she seem shaken up to you? Is slurring of speech the only sign of intoxication?
No, that's just one of the general indicators of intoxication right there.
In your experience, how many years have you been an officer?
5 to 10 years.
Do you have any idea how many drunk driving arrests you've been involved in?
Approximately 300 to 400.
And have you ever encountered a defendant or a suspect who was not slurring speech but was intoxicated?
Yes, I have.
Deputy, I'm going to show you again the body cam video, please. You just stop it, you watch the whole thing.
Your Honor, he's already covered this.
Judge, he brought up the time. We have the answer. The timestamp is accurate, so we're going to clarify approximately what the time exactly time you're talking about.
If he gives me a time, Judge, I might stipulate to it.
What about that?
I don't know it off the top of my head, Judge. I have to. I don't have that now.
He's going, Your Honor. The officer already testified 20 or 30 minutes. End of story.
I'm going to sustain the objection. We revert this.
No further questions.
All right, any request? May this witness be excused?
Judge, no, we ask that he remain under subpoena until
You're not off the hook, but you're free. Next witness.
Yes, people call Detective Marjorie Marshall.